gas and MNF. This shit don't stop. Stack money, not friends, that's how we rock. No 9 to 5, no need to clock.
It's your boy, Cashmernosweater. I'm here with another reaction video. Today we're finna be reacting to what happened to El Chapo, Deadliest Hitman, you feel me? If y'all know what a Hitman is, look it up, you feel me? It's pretty self-explanatory. Y'all like, subscribe. Finna watch this together, you feel what I'm saying? And screen recording finna start in 3, 2, 1, let's go. And we here.
Every king has an army, and every army has generals. In El Chapo's kingdom of cocaine and violence, there were 4 generals whose acts of violence and bloodshed laid the fearsome foundations of the Sinaloa cartel. However, with El Chapo captured and behind bars, what happened to these men? Did they share a similar fate with their boss, or are they still active in the criminal undergrounds? Let's find out. Number 1. Manuel Aponte Alejandro Gomez Diaz. In the cartel, Manuel Aponte Alejandro Gomez Diaz was also referred to as El Bravo, which means the Fierce One. A disciplined and high-ranking member of the Sinaloa cartel, Aponte's story is one fit for the silver screen. Unlike El Chapo's other sicarios, Aponte did not begin his life as a societal outcast. He was born on the 10th of December 1974 in the city of Chilpancingo, Guerrero, Mexico, and the man would choose to become a member of the Mexican Armed Forces. Yes, as crazy as it sounds, from 2000 to 2006, Aponte served under the Mexican Army before he became a professional.
Yo, so this man was in the army that became a professional cartel hitman. Now that's the type of nigga, if I was a cartel member, you feel what I'm saying? That's the type of guy I want on my team, if you feel what I'm saying. Somebody in the army, like, come on, bro, that's the best you could get.
Hitman, drug trafficker, and close lieutenant of El Chapo. This treacherous carpet-crossing event happened when Aponte was sent on a mission by the Mexican Armed Forces to track down El Chapo. However, when he came face-to-face with the Sinaloa cartel boss, El Chapo bribed him into switching sides and coming to work for him. Over time, El Chapo would trust Aponte so much that he also instructed him to spy on other Sinaloa cartel members and fish out traitors. Eventually, El Chapo would appoint him as his head of security, and Aponte was instrumental in helping Chapo escape and evade arrest by building tunnels in northern Mexico. It was Aponte who kept El Chapo one step ahead of the Mexican army. In 2012, he became a part of the squad that kidnapped a Mexican Navy operations coordinator named Rodrigo Vinas. Vinas attempted to lure El Chapo into a trap, but Aponte was smart. He called in reinforcements to create a distraction.
Like I said, this is the perfect dude to have on your team if you're a cartel leader, you feel what I'm saying? And El Chapo had that boy. That's a W in my book.
Escape the military roadblock, thereby giving them a smooth escape. When El Chapo was captured the second time in February 2014, Aponte fought for rule over the Sinaloa cartel. But on April 9th, 2014, his mutilated remains were found in La Cruz de Elota. Alejandro had been tortured and shot several times. While his killing has never been solved, most point fingers at warring members within the Sinaloa cartel, whom Aponte had once spied upon. Number 2.
I just realized that they said he got murdered. Damn, I wonder who did that. That's a crazy body to catch. An army nigga in El Chapo's top security. That boy wanted all the smoke.
Jose Antonio Torres, aka Marufo. Not many people know Jose Antonio Torres, but everyone in the Mexican drug scene can vividly remember the ruthless Marufo, also known as the Jaguar. Marufo was El Chapo's top hitman and prime enforcer. He was the one whom El Chapo trusted with supervising the transportation of the cartel's drugs from Juarez, Mexico to the US. This was a particularly dangerous job because Juarez already had a cartel and El Chapo encroaching into their territory. Now, most of the Jaguar's background is shrouded in mystery, but official records show that Marufo had always been on the drug scene. Way before he joined the Sinaloa cartel, the man operated independently. He was a drug trafficking freelancer who operated in the Villa Ahumada area of northern Chihuahua, a state in Mexico. Torres was also a Juarez drug trafficker who paid a smuggling tax to the Juarez cartel through a corrupt state police officer. Again, no one can say for sure how or when El Chapo met and hired Marufo. All we know is that sometime in the mid-2000s, El Chapo decided to claim the Juarez cartel's smuggling routes, and Marufo was trusted to spearhead the bloody reign of violence that took over the entire region. In 2006,
I know these little gunfights that be happening, I know them just be wicked, bro. Like, that should really be happening. Like, I say this every time I watch a cartel, anything about a cartel. But these Netflix show shits, really be happening. Like, that's just crazy to me.
Rumor had it that Marufo was directly in charge of a massive group of well-trained elite gunmen known as Gente Nueva. Under his guidance and on behalf of the Sinaloa cartel, they dedicated all their resources towards decimating the Juarez cartel and its armed wing, La Linea. Marufo was diabolically ruthless. From 2008 to 2012, people were dying every day under his watch. Official records state that at least 1,600 people were executed by Gente Nueva during this period and under his command. One of the most audacious hits was a relative in this period and under his command. One of the most audacious hits came when Marufo plotted to hurt members of the Juarez cartel by ordering the kidnapping and killing of a groom on his wedding day. This groom was a relative of the Juarez cartel members, and unfortunately for Marufo, the groom also happened to be a US citizen. He was soon added to the list of most wanted fugitives in the El Paso division of the US Drug Enforcement Administration, and some say the event was what marked the beginning of the end for the Jaguar. However, it was another audacious killing from 2009 that would put a bounty on Marufo's head. On the 3rd of September of that year, masked men under direct orders from Marufo barged into a military education center in Ciudad Juarez, gathered all the 20 patients together against a wall, and shot every one of them. 18 patients.
Bro, them niggas, bro, these motherfuckers be wildin', bro. Like, hey, if y'all live in wherever these areas, like, if y'all live in whatever area this be happening in, bro, I pray for y'all, you feel what I'm saying? That's all you could do, because this is crazy. Like, they just barged in somewhere. I bet you it was broad day, too. And just captured 20 people and killed them. Not even counting the 1,600 bodies, bro, that other bro had. Like, these motherfuckers is crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Died that day, and the remaining 2 were critically wounded. Eventually, Marufo was hunted down, captured, and extradited to the US. Today, he is serving a 40-year sentence in an Arizona prison facility. Number 3. Mario Iglesias Villegas. Mario was once the head of El Chapo's Sinaloa cartel hit squad. He is also known as the Grim Reaper because he was a ruthless assassin. While he involved himself in a lot of other crimes,
these names just be boosting. I ain't gonna cap, they got some crazy ass nicknames.
His ability to coldly and efficiently kill thousands of people that made him an assassin that other assassins within the Sinaloa cartel looked up to. Mario joined the Sinaloa cartel in 2008 and took orders directly from El Chapo. In just 4 years after joining the cartel from 2008 to 2012, Mario was directly responsible for the death of at least 4,000 people, and all of these murders happened within the city of Ciudad Juarez. Many have
Y'all think about that real quick. 4,000 people. Count to 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, bro, 4,000 is crazy, bro. That's hella. That's hella.
argued that Mario's endless violence was one of the key factors that made the Sinaloa cartel emerge victorious in their drug war with the Juarez cartel. However, one of the biggest errors he made in his needlessly violent career happened in 2010, when he, along with Marufo and some other hitmen, facilitated a revenge kidnapping of a US citizen and his relatives. On May 10, 2010, the victims were discovered dead in Ciudad Juarez. Mario would eventually be arrested in 2012 and found guilty of numerous charges: money laundering, drug trafficking, murders, conspiracies, and possession of firearms, among other charges. Unsurprisingly, and because of his violent nature, Mario didn't seem to have any ride or die friends. During his trial, it was his own foot soldiers and colleagues that testified against him. Some of them had even participated in murders and kidnappings, but they cared more about bringing down the Grim Reaper than they cared about indicting themselves. Eventually, Mario was sentenced to life imprisonment on March 3, 2022 by a US district court and made to pay a fine of $100,000 for his role in the operations of the cartel business. Number 4. Orso Ivan Gastelum. Orso Ivan Gastelum.
One thing I could say, bro, with the USA, bro, let a motherfucker get kidnapped out of the country, you feel me? Them niggas be on that shit. I ain't gonna lie. Like, when it comes to the cartel, what I have seen and heard when it comes to these cartel kidnappings of US citizens, bro, the US really be on that shit. Like, they don't play that shit if a nigga take a US citizen, you feel what I'm saying?
Was El Chapo's right-hand man, his most trusted lieutenant, and one of the deadliest assassins in the Mexican drug scene. Everyone knew him as El Cholo. He was chief enforcer for the Sinaloa drug cartel, the head of the Sinaloa cartel's squad of hitmen, and directly responsible for their activities and managing their excesses. However, it seems El Cholo might have been the most excessive. On one occasion, El Cholo beat up some policemen so bad that El Chapo had to scold him. There was also a wild rumor that El Cholo was responsible for
What the hell scold me? I ain't gonna lie, I gotta search that, y'all.
for at least 80% of cartel killings, most of which he carried out personally. In 2005, the government came close to putting an end to El Cholo's reign of terror when they arrested and charged him with possession. But after a shoddy investigation was carried out, El Cholo was released by court order. 3 years later, an armed confrontation with soldiers led to his arrest and imprisonment, but he would escape just a year later, on the 9th of August 2008. This escape led to an extensive manhunt and near captures in 2010, 2014, and 2015. In 2013, while the army was chasing a convoy of armed men that was reportedly carrying El Cholo, they shot and killed his partner, a beauty queen named Susan Flores. At the time, she was just 22 and had fallen for the violent hitman while she was studying at a university in Culiacan. Her death hurt El Cholo so much that barely a month after the tragic incident, residents of her hometown woke up to find 67 narco banners hung around their town. The banners read, "The soldiers killed her because they came to kill me and they couldn't. The girl had never carried guns, much less fired them. Sincerely, Cholo Ivan." Eventually, on the 8th of January 2016...
Damn, that is low-key fucked up, though. They killed her. She had nothing to do with it. And they didn't even kill the dude that they came for. That's pretty pathetic on the cops, ain't gonna cap.
Cholo was captured with El Chapo in a targeted raid of the drug lord's safe house in the Sinaloa Pacific coast city of Los Mochis. Initially, El Cholo and El Chapo were able to escape through a tunnel. However, they were arrested at a checkpoint by local police. While El Chapo has since been extradited and sentenced to life imprisonment in a supermax prison, El Cholo has tried and failed to appeal his extradition. When he inevitably faces a court in the US, he would likely suffer the same fate his boss is currently suffering, a lifetime behind bars for his lifetime of violent crimes.
I ain't gonna cap, though. Ain't gonna cap. Like I said, bro, the US do not play with niggas when it comes to them getting kidnapped on other people's grounds, you feel what I'm saying? But El Chapo do be having some ride or die niggas, bro. And that's the type of niggas you need around you feel what I'm saying? But one thing I'ma say is if any one of these leaders or hitmen get out, it has to be the government, because I don't see no other way. I literally don't see no other way they can get out of jail, you feel what I'm saying? But like I said, it's your boy, Cashmernosweater. I'll never mess with none of these niggas, you feel me? I'll never be in that predicament anyway. But y'all like, subscribe. It's your boy, and I'm out.
We spot him, we got him, we shot him and trapping. That nigga is pussy, he don't wanna study. Nigga see the gang and started a panic. Fucked on a Kelly, bitch, I full of plastic. I need me a bitch who just gon' keep it classy. Stun on y'all niggas can't have it. Stacking my money, should've been on that Maverick.